the day is finally here, and I'm super excited because we here at Take 6 Africa are launching something special. It's something that we call SheNthesis, spanning from the name or comes from the word synthesis. This is a Women in AI platform where we will be sharing stories, journeys, experiences, and even expertise within the innovation spectrum of artificial intelligence. Thank you so much for joining us. Our first guest is Joan. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
You're doing quite a mighty job on the global platform where AI is concerned.
Yeah.
But I'm really more excited today about the conversations that we are about to have, beginning with this one. Of course, we are here to demystify what artificial intelligence is.
Yeah.
We are beginning from the very layman's terms.
Yeah.
What is AI? What is artificial intelligence?
Yes.
What does it involve? And does it really steal our jobs from us?
Okay, so those are many questions and all tough questions.
Yeah.
But let's start with what AI is. So the term AI was coined in 1956. It's not a new term. It's been there for a while. And it's AI is a combination of many principles. We have engineering, computer science, psychology, engineering, like I said. So it's not what people think it is when they say AI, and then they mention ChatGPT, Gemini, Perplexity, and then maybe Canva AI. It's all of those form one pattern of AI, and there are actually around 7. So there are many more. We now have things like autonomous vehicles, we have predictive analysis, all of that is still AI. So there's a lot of math basically, and not just coding, but it's a mix of many principles put together.
Right. And you see right now you've mentioned math.
Yes.
It's not just math. It's not just coding.
Linguistics. Yeah.
All those algorithms form up AI. But the other side of AI that people do not know is that you don't have to be a techie to be AI savvy, right?
Yeah.
Like right now, beginning this moment, I'm probably a woman in AI already, and that's because I'm providing a platform for other women in AI to share their stories, even if it's the women who code.
Yeah.
So could we just get to know more, a little bit more about AI and what it involves besides the part where there are those who can code.
Yes.
There are those who are tech savvy.
Well, I can give an example of myself. I don't code necessarily, but I am in AI because I manage AI projects. And that's quite unique, in fact, because I came to understand that AI projects are different. They are not the typical traditional projects where you have a definite start and a definite end, and you need to have achieved everything you set out to do from the beginning. AI projects evolve with time until the goal is met. And I struggled with it actually for a while, being certified in traditional methods of project management, because I was expecting for a project to come to an end. And then when it wasn't, it was quite frustrating. Like, okay, is it that, why do we keep iterating? Why is it that we are not completing? Why is it that we don't have a final deliverable that we can say, client, here you go, here's your deliverable. But AI projects are continuous and they are evolving, and it's an iteration until you meet the objective, which is what the client wants. So AI projects are not about the model necessarily, because not all AI projects end up in a model. It's more about the journey to the goal and the experience you give to the client. So for me, as a woman in AI, I see it as a symphony between my clients and I. It's a partnership, it's a journey. We continuously iterate through small batches of work until we deliver something tangible, and have continuous feedback loops to make sure we are keeping up with quality, keeping up with the culture that they want to sustain in the process.
Right.
So, yeah.
And I like that you've mentioned this word partnership. Other people would say collaboration, other people would say coordination with AI to achieve a certain goal that you want.
Yeah.
We are getting to that in a moment. But for now, because you brought yourself in the picture
Yeah.
of project management,
Yes.
you are in AI data operations at a global scale.
Yeah.
Could you please tell us about that? What you do as a woman in AI?
Well, and unfortunately, there's no one straight answer because, and I've come to appreciate that different clients have different needs, and my job is to deliver value, right? To help them meet their goal in the time, the quality, the cost, the constraints that they have set up, right? So when we talk about AI data operations at scale, that looks like preparing data for AI models or for whatever need the client wants to use that for. So I sit in a critical part of the cycle where without data, then AI has nothing to build on. It's not growing in intelligence, right? And I also sit in a space where I lead teams that literally do the work of creating data that is needed to grow the model, right? So, in a sense, I'd say without us, there's no AI really.
I see.
Yeah.
Did you hear that? Without us, the human beings, there is no AI,
Yeah.
which would form the basis of my next question or my next prompt, however it comes out. There's some numbers that we were looking at earlier.
Yeah.
And these are people-centered numbers within data operations. And how I'd like to bring this is when you're talking about AI model, let's pick Chat GPT, for instance, or Claude for that matter. We use it to get information.
Yes. Yes.
Even to draft information, right? This information already exists.
Yes.
And it's able to use it to give you what you want. So when we're talking about data, AI data, and the human behind AI data, what are we looking at in relation to AI models?
And I think this is where expertise comes in over time, where the teams that I work with or lead in this particular instance are people, men and women, who are just real people like me and you, and that means that their bias can be, can be found in the data they produce. And that's why I said it's a partnership, if we can go back to that, because the way I will understand an instruction to label a data set may not be the same way the client intended for it to be. And that's where bias comes in sometimes. And so when we are talking about the actual people doing the work, we must appreciate that they are human beings with limitations and issues. And so I like to give my teams ability to just be themselves, in the sense that I'm not expecting 100% excellence at all times, because we're human beings. We don't need some time off. Sometimes we need to, rush to the hospital with our children. Those things happen. But sometimes, when you think of AI, you must think, oh my gosh, the person who helped develop this must be so perfect. They have no issues in their lives.
Yeah.
And that's because AI tends to look like, or let me say in this instance, what AI can produce tends to look perfect. And so when we understand that there's a human being who labeled the data And this is where we're talking about models that depend on label data, because not all of them depend on label data. But where there's a human in the loop, it might be tempting to say, oh, well, they must be so awesome. They must be the best of the best.
This is such a perfect report.
No, there are times we miss the mark. There are times we over, deliver. But that's because we're human beings.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And a good example is that this show is about conversations.
Yeah.
But then I shared with you a list of questions. And the first thing I did when we met today was to tell you, oh, this is AI generated. And you're like, oh, yeah, I noticed.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
When we talk about perfection, AI, to me, I wouldn't look at it as perfect because we are told use AI diligently.
Yes.
Give it a human voice, give it a human face, right? Why is this? With relations to what we observed from my list of questions to you.
Well, AI systems are probabilistic. They're not deterministic. That means that depending on the input you give it, it can produce, so many outcomes.
So many results.
Yeah, so many results.
Yeah.
And that's why they'll always mention in a caveat down there, verify what you're getting from this model. Why? Because your judgment is what matters in whether you're going to receive that output as final draft and take it and put it. And we've seen organizations that have done that. They just took the outcome and, the output and put it up with their name, award. This is my my thinking, without editing, without checking. So it is important for us to realize that AI is not perfect yet, right? And it requires us to still use our judgment, even as we learn to partner with it.
Do you think it will ever be perfect, seeing that humanity is not perfect?
It's argued that we are almost there. It's argued that we are almost at a place where, okay, so currently AI can do only one thing at a time. But it's argued that there'll be a time when AI can do more than one thing at a time. For example, right now, an autonomous vehicle can only drive. But there is a possible future that an autonomous vehicle can drive while also, predicting the weather and I don't know, something close to that. It's believed that we're almost there. And that's why there's the fear of, wow, AI is coming for my job for sure.
And let's talk about that. AI is coming for my job for sure. Personally, if I can share my opinion, I think AI has already taken up some of our jobs.
Yeah.
There's just so much already that AI can do. AI can design a lyrics and sing it with a very beautiful voice.
Yes.
AI can design a script and I don't know if now I should say film the movie on its own with proper characters. Okay. AI can do voiceovers. These are all things within my industry, right? AI can script. So AI is already a copywriter. So people are out there, or employers are out there already asking, why do I need a scriptwriter, a copywriter? Yeah. Why do I need to employ a human voiceover artist? Right? What is it that we need to do right? Because this is a reality already. I wouldn't want to say that all jobs are safe, because some are not. But when you talk about collaboration, when you talk about partnership, what are we talking about? What is it that people should know, professionals should know, so that we are not lost tomorrow, unemployed?
Let's ground it a bit, because I don't want us to get into the space of fearing AI, because that's it's a reality. Should I be scared that tomorrow a project manager will just appear out of the computer?
Yeah.
Well, if you think about, let's think about the lyrics or the script or the, the show, the movie, does it just appear out of nowhere? What really happens? Like even today, I saw the other day we had a challenge. Put up your image, let AI generate.
The Chat GPT
Yes,
challenge.
challenge. Did it just appear? Did it know to take your image, process it? Someone had to do all that, right? Someone had to prompt it. Someone had to give it instructions. So yes, AI is doing incredible things currently, and it will get better, right? However, the human being is still involved. And maybe if I can talk to employers or organizations, I'd say yes, you can definitely get results faster, because I think that's what AI is doing for us now. It's giving you results faster. We don't have to continuously think through something, take days. In a matter of minutes, you can have what you want in weeks.
True,
Right?
true.
However, even as you get the output from AI, you're still going to need someone to verify that what it has produced is accurate, ethical, valid for the goal that you wanted to achieve. So I'd say for those who should be scared that AI is coming for their jobs, that's because it's coming for those repetitive tasks, right? Currently. But what we need to do as professionals and as basic human beings is to learn what AI is, learn to use it, learn to prompt properly, because whatever you give it, it will produce. If you give it something nuanced, it will produce something nuanced. Garbage in, garbage out.
True.
Yeah.
Okay. So I also give Chat GPT my photo. So I'm seated on a news desk on that photo.
Yeah.
And so what Chat GPT designed my caricature with a cup of tea and mandazi on the news desk.
Wow.
Then there was also a laundry machine, washing machine,
Yes.
and some clothes hang on the line
Okay.
on a news desk. Okay?
Yeah.
So what that showed me is that, you see, even the way I prompted ChatGPT was that create my caricature with the image I'm providing,
Yeah.
and localize it, make it Kenyan. So it picked 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so it means my prompt wasn't proper, right? That's how it gave. That's why it gave me, China mandazi hapo, because it knows China mandazi
It's local.
is a local meal,
Yeah.
but I don't need China mandazi in that. So I think basically why I'm trying to say this is to support what you were saying earlier, that ChatGPT still needs a human being behind the decks to tell it what to do.
Yeah.
And that it's only going to take up those repetitive tasks. The thing that you've not told us is that while these repetitive tasks are being taken, there are those tasks that are actually also coming up that people should take up, that are going to help them collaborate with AI, partner with AI, because AI in itself cannot operate at the moment without a human being. Correct?
Yes.
Yeah?
Correct. Yes.
Great. We're coming to the end of our conversation. But then earlier when we were just chatting, we were talking about representation.
Yeah.
I think that's why I designed this platform specifically for women.
Yeah.
Because we live in a world where a woman's voice hasn't been given the justice it deserves, the representation it deserves. So you're always behind the scenes.
Yes.
And from my understanding, from my research, it's not that women haven't been doing great things from history. We have been. But why are we still talking of underrepresentation?
I want to take a different angle to that question and look at what has happened historically
Okay.
and culturally. even studies have shown us that women have not been given the encouragement, the opportunity to do things that are outside what a woman should do, right? And especially in the African context.
And you can tell us what a woman should do.
Yes,
which I'm giving it
air quotes. Yes.
Yeah. What should a woman do?
Basic. Stay in the
Cooking.
kitchen, take care of the children, make sure the house is in order,
Cook.
Serve. Ensure everybody else. And then most times we forget ourselves.
Yeah.
And from that lack of investment in ourselves, in addition to how the culture has been, it just magnifies the situation. And then the funny thing is, I've seen that women who step out and do something unique, they are victimized by other women because she's a unicorn. What is she doing? She needs to toe the line, However, we have now, I've seen even in primary school level, we have STEM being introduced. So it's being demystified from, just engineering subjects are being demystified from it's a man thing. This morning as we were coming, our road is being constructed. And, as you're talking about this, I realized I still have that problem because I noticed there's a lady who was actually manning the machine that is leveling the road. And I was like, it's a woman, And it's not that I don't know. And it's not that I don't know that women can, do these things, but it is not usual.
It's still surprising. It also
Yes.
still surprises me when I
Yes.
see women in the dominated fields. And
yes.
it's because of the way what you're talking about. Society has made us think a certain way
Yes.
that a woman would never be found doing this.
Yes.
A woman should be found doing this.
Yes.
And that's the problem. So it's
Yes.
also, as we grew up, I think, with our mindsets, it will take a lot for us to
undo.
Yeah. It will not take a lot.
Yeah.
It takes a lot for us to undo.
Yes.
Because I think after you did that, you quickly thought, oh, why am I...
Why did I say that?
Exactly.
Why was that shocking? We had a whole discussion about the whole thing. I also want to challenge myself and you, as I know you have a family and I'm sure you have women in your circles. Can we start with basic things at home? Like if the remote breaks down, can we try giving the girl to see what she will do? Giving her the opportunity to also expose her, like, okay, we have a problem. The remote is not working. And because it's not working, we cannot access television without manually going to press the buttons. And maybe if your TV doesn't have buttons, then no TV at all. Would it take so much as to even use ChatGPT to figure out how to fix the remote and help the girl see these are it's an actual process. There's identification of a problem. The remote is broken, right? Then the steps we need to take to fix it.
Yeah.
I like seeing these young ladies coming up who are, doing even coding and developing agents, and it's really impressive, very impressive.
True.
And I challenge myself and I'm like, what can I do, to do better and to be more technical in AI? Well, I did do something, but I want to continue learning. I did a certification to specifically understand what AI is and to manage the project the way it's supposed to be managed. And I think it's those small steps, can I just define AI properly? Let's start from there, and then grow. And there are so many courses out there now, free and available. But we need to desire to start. We need to want to do it, to stand out and stop being unicorns. Let's all be there. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Joan Muthuri. You are a woman in AI.
Yep.
And I honor you
Thank
on
you.
this show.
Thank you.
And because that's what we are doing, that's why we have conceptualized this platform. Let's honor some women you know in AI by just mentioning their names.
Yes.
And recognizing that they are female innovators in this space.
Yeah. Well, I'll start with where I work because there are many women I work with who are even senior to me. And I appreciate that they are in AI and have been exemplary at it. I want to mention my VP of delivery, Sam Stanley. She has been one that has encouraged me, particularly to pursue things that are not necessarily part of my work, but are an interest for me because I'm very passionate about AI and continuous learning on that matter. I want to acknowledge Arasa. Arasa is like my sister at work. And she's very tough lady, but very gracious. And to mention Melody. Yeah. Melody, I feel she's really setting the trend for women in Kenya. She's developed her own agents, AI agents. She has her own consultancy. She's speaking. She's doing the things that a woman should not do in reality, and especially in this disruptive industry of AI. So let me mention those three for today. And I wanted to keep it local. I mean, there are people who have done great things, even from the very beginning, from the 1900s. But I want to center it on today, on that it's still relevant for women to stand out and to do great things.
True.
Yeah.
Women have been innovating since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
I was just surprised recently that the GPS creator was a woman. We recently lost her. May her soul rest in peace. But you see, women have been there since the beginning of innovation, right? And you also mentioned Melody.
Yes.
We honor her. Sam. And then there is
Arasa.
And Arasa.
Yeah.
We honor them. We honor all women in AI here on SheNthesis. This has been our first conversation, the very first that sets the pace and precedents for many more to come. My name is Awur Odongo, and our guest on our very first episode has been Joan Muthuri, who is a service delivery manager in AI data operations. Thank you so much for listening to our first and even watching us. Do subscribe on our channel and just keep supporting us as we journey through this space. Until next time, goodbye.